Greetings, YouTube. I know all of us are grieving the loss of Stan Lee in our own way, and I've received so much amazing feedback on the post I did earlier this week on how his legacy really shaped my childhood and gave me hope when I didn't have any. And I've been reading so much about Stan Lee. I've learned so much about his incredible life, and I can't wait to buy his memoir and just read more. I'm a huge nerd, obviously, when it comes to many things, but when you have a hero and a genius that's a 1 in a billion, and somehow that's even an understatement, it's really important to honor their life by seeing how they lived it. And so I've been reading up on different stories, and I'm going to share my favorite one ever that was actually a Facebook post that someone shared that I truly believe is true. Some people, of course, the trolls of the world will try to crush anything, and they'll say, I don't know if this really happened. Well, I don't think anyone photoshopped this. I think it's just cool. But I want to bring this to your attention because on a day when I've heard from countless people who are frustrated that they're no longer going to be as excited to rank up their Killmonger because Kabam took some of his temporary advantages away and stuff like that. You know, it sucks. It sucks. I sort of have, I feel like I'm going to have trust issues forever from my experience in this game. Because every time I get excited about something, of course, it's like, oh, just kidding. It's kind of a facade. It's a temporary high, not a permanent one. Like a really bad drug, pretty much. But anyway, so I just want to give you an idea of why this story means so much to me. First off, I am getting the same question a lot lately, and it's a fantastic question. And that question is, Prof, I want to start a YouTube channel. How do I do it? And so I've been working behind the scenes with a lot of people who haven't maybe even like made a YouTube account yet, just to encourage them to get started. If I can help you achieve your dreams, and if I can encourage you to achieve your dreams because you've seen me achieve mine, then I'm doing something in this life that's worth doing. And that really is my worldview and my belief, and I say go for it. The people that criticize you the most, the people who tell you that your dreams are stupid and that your goals aren't going to work, are the people that gave up on theirs a long time ago. And that brings us to my favorite Stan Lee story ever, because this man writes, I was 12. I was naive. I mailed 3 quarters to Marvel Comics with a request for 3 annuals. By the way, a quarter was a lot of money back then. That's like saying at least 15 bucks. The local drugstore didn't carry 25-cent annuals, only 12-cent regular comic books. Marvel returned my quarters and said I should send a check or money order after July. So, basically, Marvel was being like the Squidward to the SpongeBob. Marvel was saying, you know what? Your money's no good here, and you need to give us adult money and wait in order to get what you want to legally purchase. And so that to me feels like my memories of when I first told my friends, like, I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. They said things like, you know, you suffer from a dry mouth, right? Like, your students notice it. People on YouTube are going to notice it. And you know, I've seen the memes. I know people have commented that I slur my words too much or there's too much saliva in my mouth. It's something that I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. And it's just something that I've been made fun of my whole life. And so it is kind of nerve-wracking to think that. But I didn't let it stop me. And I would like to think that 99% of the time, my syllables are not harsh to hear. Maybe just the P's. But we move on. I was crushed and wrote Stan Lee. What a badass, right? Talk about just going to the man. You're going to get shown the doorstep by the customer service person. Let's go to the CEO. I was crushed and wrote Stan Lee that I was afraid Marvel would run out of annuals and if I waited to order after July, which is probably a really realistic fear, by the way. And Stan Lee came through. All caps, hell yeah. The 1965 Marvel annuals, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and Marvel Tales were mine. Now let's read Stan Lee's letter to truly appreciate this man and his greatness. This may not come through when I upload it on YouTube. It's just a letter, but that's okay. The substance is what's most important. Dear Mark, someone around here is going to be fed to the manta rays, what a great phrase, for what you, our true fan, have been forced to endure. My grandfather used to tell me stories of how subscription departments would tangle themselves up, but I never really believed them until now. If a fan is interested enough in our comics to send in his money, he's entitled to get them. Not in a month, not after July 30th, pronto, underlined. Any reader who has taken as much bureaucratic tomfoolery, another great line, as you have, and remain calm and polite about it, deserve some kind of a reward. So we're sending you, free of charge, what a badass, the 3 annuals you originally requested. We hope you enjoy them, and we pledge this idiocy will not continue. Sincerely, Stan Lee, autographed it, editor. 64? All right, here's the point. This person could have given up. This person could have said, all right, well, clearly Marvel Comics is not going to accept my quarters, and I'm probably just going to lose out on those issues. You know, there's probably people who need them more than me anyway. There's 1,000 reasons to just give up. But this person didn't, right? And so I want to use this as an analogy in honor of the great genius Stan Lee himself, and a humanitarian like no other, to say, if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, go for it. There are going to be haters. There are going to be trolls. There are going to be people who notice every little mistake you make, or maybe don't even make, but sort of subtly make. I don't know. And it is important to recognize your mistakes, to apologize for them, to improve. You never want to be a human being that can't apologize, because then you have an ego that can't fit in the internet, which should seemingly be impossible. But regardless, just know that even if you don't have a channel that has thousands and thousands of subscribers, you'll still get to say you tried. You'll still get to say that you actually accomplished something that you weren't sure was possible. And that's invaluable. What you don't want to do is look back on your life, which goes so fast, and say to yourself, man, I wish when I was in my 20s or my teens or my 30s or whatever, I had started a YouTube channel, but life got in the way. You know, it's like the movie Up. You don't want to have this grand goal that you never get to see because life just gets in the way. And YouTube is one of those things that can happen with the right persistence, and by not putting up, as Mr. Stan Lee says, with tomfoolery, because screw that, ain't nobody got time for that. This was my favorite Stan Lee story of all time. I wanted to share it with you, and I want to continue to honor this great man in everything I do on my YouTube channel and off my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, YouTube. May you start your own YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you've got my support. You know how to reach me.